A door creaks. A whispered heard. Was that the breeze? A footstep? Or was that the branch against the house? These and other such phenomena we'll take a look into at Carltim Pal-lisades.
Welcome.
Today, I guess we're going to talk about the
Paranormal, the ghosts,
yeah.
the spooky specters in the middle of the night.
But first, you should sell Tim the new game or Devin the new game.
Oh, yeah. Definitely to assuage the... Well, that's not the right word, but I'm not sure what I'm saying, but this is quite an exciting and startling, that's where I'm going for, kind of like Ghost. This is a shocking kind of thing. And this is the on button.
All right.
And it'll select 2 players. And what happens here is when we press this button, the song will go, and when it stops, we're supposed to press these handle buttons, and if we're a little slow, well, we get a little gift. And 1, 2, 3, go. And it's kind of creepy.
What's that?
Yeah. Oh my god. I guess I was a little slow. Yeah, well, we can do it again. A little, we don't want 4. We'll do 1, 2, 3. There we go.
What's it got to do with ghosts? Either way, I'm glad I'm winning this one finally.
Yep. Well,
So far.
I just want you to feel the joy. Yeah, not again, but maybe one more time. You know,
All right.
They say best out of 3, but I would have lost the best out of 3.
Well, that's 3 out of 5 now.
3 out of 5.
That's the Wizard of Oz.
When
they're in the tornado thing?
Okay, well, that's good enough for me. Okay, but anyway.
I'm still retiring a champion.
Yeah, my relatives have had experiences. I've had experiences in a past job as a security personnel. A lot of my time was required to walk alone solely through older buildings and make sure doors are secured and no unknown interlopers. And then I would, come across some areas that would, leave the hair in the back of the neck kind of raised and kind of get that, clutching response where you kind of tighten up and kind of get ready for whatever. And one such experience was in an administration building on a local campus here and in the basement, and had just the eeriest kind of feel to it, kind of low ceilings. I was having explored that area, I was introducing a new officer to the area and said, "You got to see this is pretty strange," that they're aware of it. And I opened the door and put the key in. It's an older lock. Turn the key and let go, and the door swung open. And I kind of knew that was going to happen.
Yeah.
And I said, "Here's the meat," or kind of like Lord of the Rings,
Yeah.
kind of what the works. Meat is back on the table. But and through a little investigation, I later figured out why that was. The hinges were well oiled, and it was taken care of. And there is a large air handler unit in opposite corner of that building. But it was very poorly lit, and it looked like Blair Witch underground stuff. So it was, give you that kind of weird kind of feeling. And that was one.
Yeah, but that's actually a thing, though. I do believe in spirits. I do believe in ghosts. But I feel like there's about 99% of the time it's kind of attributed to stuff like that. Just stuff we don't realize. Like, again, the hinges being really well oiled. Like, for example, at the bar I work at, there's a running joke about this one ghost because there's like a weird speck on one of the cameras that it only pops up when it's dark out for whatever reason. And a couple other random things here and there like that. But, brand new building. Yeah. Nobody's died in there as far as I know.
Yeah, and then and then going back to my father was raised in central North Dakota, and one of the stories that my mother we were visiting, and they were in the second level bedroom, and she was like the last person to kind of shut down for the night, and she was going into her bedroom and then closed the door, and then. And there was kind of like a light bulb out there, kind of just bare light bulb, no shade on it or anything like that. And then she closed the door, and then kind of, God, it's one of Spielberg's movies where the light kind of started beaming underneath.
Close Encounters of the Third Kind?
There you go. That's it. But there were no UFO aliens there that I was aware of, but just ghosts. Bright light, and she kind of freaked out, and then she was just going to kind of open and peek, and by the time she opened the door, it would kind of disappeared. But she wasn't the only one that witnessed that. I believe it was a sister of mine as well saw that. And that house itself was built in the either early 1900s or late 1890s. So
yeah,
it was. It had some creep effect. It actually had a root cellar, and it was dirt.
That can't not be creepy, especially in old houses.
Yeah.
I think like it. One story that kind of stands out really quite a bit, at least that I heard quite a bit growing up, was that so when my sister, when she was a baby, she had my older sister, she had a really bad cough, colic, or whatever it is. She was kind of sick a lot as a kid. And my dad, he'd work in the cities. He'd drive back but sometimes he'd get back home really late, so he'd just go to bed on the couch. So he was just asleep, and he just kind of woke up, and he just of course he heard my sister crying, and he saw a woman, kind of just float into her room, and he looked right at her, how he described her. My mom always said, "Oh, that's my passed away sister."
Mm.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, not my sister, her sister, my aunt. It's kind of how it kind of always was, and my sister kind of just her coughing fits kind of got better from there on out.
I got nothing on that, but
yeah.
Not to freak you guys out, but there's a face indicator right between you guys.
What?
On the camera, it masks your face, so it shows that it's zoomed in, and it's showing it's right in the middle.
That's actually
it is cooler there. It is cooler there. Cool.
That's actually a theory I heard that actually speaking about ghosts or just spirits actually kind of gives them energy and draws them to you. So we're summoning spirits here.
Wow,
look at us.
That's awesome.
With our spirited conversation.
Woohoo! And you're a man who deals in spirits at your vocation. But no, and then let's see what other interesting. An ex brother-in-law, he had an experience when I guess his grandfather died, and it was kind of the vision, in distress, and I think either in the dream state or whatever, came to him and said everything's gonna be fine,
Yeah.
A lot of those. I myself have not, other than, I've had explainable stuff, like that door, and to me, I view it as I'm reacting to the situation. Maybe that's, I'm having blinders on. Maybe I should be more broad-minded, but I myself kind of get addicted to the fear. I'm kind of scared.
Yeah.
This kind of feels neat. I'm going to see why that's making me feel.
If I poke the dead ghost bear, what happens?
Which is not necessarily from a survivalist point of view. Is not the best approach. This has frightened me. What's going on over here?
And I got one guy who dies in a horror movie. Guys, what's that noise?
It's the 14,000-year cave bear. Whack! Your head. Yeah. Although bears do scare me, but haven't run into a bear ghost yet. So
that would be terrifying. Just a giant floating white grizzly, just like oh god.
But let's see. And then other the farmhouse. Oh, and then my cousin who had lived there had a number of incidents where he was driving home from work, and it was 2-story. He thought he saw somebody in the upper window, and his wife was home, and drives into the yard, and no car. So then he goes, "Oh, I'm gonna see who's upstairs," and kind of scours the whole thing, and nobody's there.
Yeah,
that's like ooh, hair in the back of the neck. And then he had that happen again when he was in the basement doing laundry, and then he heard the door open, footsteps, and and then that time I think he's like, I'm gonna go armed through the house to make sure that there was nobody there. So, but startle, very startle. But what about you? Any other incidents?
Well, there's a couple others. Like my sister and my brother-in-law's house. Actually, it's an older It's an older house. I want to say it's from the 40s or so. Mm-hmm. But yeah, they've had a few experiences there. My little godson, he describes him as the old man, or it's just an old man who stands in like the hallway between my nephew's bedroom and my sister and brother-in-law's bedroom. He just kind of stands there. He interacts with my nephew once in a while too, but not super much. And I think my niece has seen him too. My other nephew hasn't though. But then there's just random things that happen there too, like plates will just fly off the shelf or whatever. They hear random noises. My brother was there just watching the kids. This was a while ago, and he was, I think it was my brother. Yeah, he was just there by himself. Well, the kids were asleep, so he was just in the living room watching TV, and he just heard somebody talking to him. And same thing happened with a friend of my sister's. Like, she went downstairs just to grab something and just heard a voice say, "Get out," or something along those lines. And she's not been in the basement since.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Oh, yeah. One that comes to my mind that I experienced was I was helping a friend move, him and his family. And it was in South Fargo. It was like an older apartment complex, 901 on 8th Street, I think.
901, 210.
Yeah, and I was going to play a joke. They had these like hallway closets where you could actually kind of long hallways, and I run into there and I kind of close the door, and I'm kind of looking through the crack, and then I get this sense of a presence just kind of like looking at me. Like, whoa, man, what is that all about? But anyway, I kind of waited for them to come up, and they got out, and was like, "Oh, that was a weird experience." Yeah. And then, but yeah, I can't explain it.
Oh yeah,
I wasn't able to repeat it, but I mentioned it to whoever. I said that was a freaky experience.
Yeah,
but just a perception issue. I don't know. I'm tend to be a little skeptical on that.
I think when it comes to stuff like this, there's so many factors that can go into how you can just perceive what's going on. God, I'm trying to think. Well, just one thing that weird happened to me that I'm not sure if it's just because it was a thing. But we had an apartment I lived in a couple years ago. Me and a buddy of mine lived there. We always kind of joked around because the hallway closet, the door. None of us really went in there. It was just storage space. But the door would always be open. Like we'd go he'd go to bed, I'd go to work or whatever, and the door would just be open. Or it would just always be open. And also the weird thing about that too is that's the only apartment or any time in my life I've ever had sleep paralysis. Was when I lived there. I will any time my sleep demon was this weird sleep paralysis people have sleep demons.
Hypnagogic state of consciousness.
Yes, right there actually. And it was always the same thing. This a large man with big smile on his face, and like I got that probably at least once a month. Like, yeah.
Wow. Well, at least you got something once in a month.
Yeah.
Anyway, for leaving big smiles on our face, thanks for tuning in, and
Thanks for coming. Thanks for checking us out. Look at us on Patreon. Look at us on other things.
Subscribe. Do whatever you need to do. Leave comments. We appreciate the comments.
Watching the three of us.
And thank our guest.
I hope to sing all over the earth, share the songs that make me whole. When I'm free, I wait to gather my pieces till I'm free, and I hope that I'll discover the real me. Yes, I hope that I'll discover the real me. Hope that I'll discover